Russell Brand allegations of rape. I don't know if anybody has heard, and if you do know Russell Brand, we started off knowing him as a comedian, an actor, an English comedian, an actor, dated, I believe, was married to Katy Perry at one point, and then jumped into podcasting and politics. He started off being more of a progressive voice, and he went what we know a lot of the people who have mics to do. He grifted right on to the conservative side. Where the money resides, he drifted right on to the conservative side. And so lately, a lot of news has been coming out on him, though, where he's been accused of rape, 4 women, sexual assault, and emotional abuse. And this is in a joint investigation. Now, so many people that we've seen this conversation. Of course, we're going to see think pieces. We're going to hear a lot of conversations surrounding Russell Brand. And this is the same Russell Brand that advocated, or I think funded, our very own Dr. Cornel West when he was coming out campaigning for initially.
Oh, you're going deep.
Presidency, but removed himself from that. Just want to point that out. But this is that same Russell Brand. I don't know, but he is being accused of rape from 4 women, sexual assault, again, and emotional abuse in a new investigation.
Including a 16-year-old.
Including a 16-year-old that he allegedly groomed. Okay. And Lance from the Surfs actually did a great expose on this, where he has so much detailed information. So check that out. Lance from the Surfs on YouTube. My buddy on Leftist Mafia. He did a great expose, and he broke a lot down for me.
Look at Rebecca having white friends. She can shout out on the show.
on my good old black show. And when I'm on that, I'm like, Rebecca. Like it or not.
So Rebecca, so that means Rebecca can say, like, I have white friends. I'm not racist. I have white friends.
Say that. I have white friends. But at the end of the day, we're back to Russell Brand, and he is not my white friend. Now, let's take a look at Russell Brand's white friends advocating for him in the UK on the news. Let's take a listen.
In their number, and I guarantee to you, this is going to be a huge investigation, a huge story, and I'm astonished that you leapt to his defence before you can have
any
read
of his content in the last 3 years. You have no idea who he is now.
You have
no idea what he represents.
Had you watched the Dispatches show when you put that tweet out on Saturday morning?
No, but that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
There was nothing
you hadn't even seen the Dispatches programme when you put out He is a Hero. You hadn't even seen the Dispatches programme.
He would not have
what do you make
gained
of that
popularity
as a woman, knowing that how difficult it is in this country?
If all of the mainstream media hadn't been singing from one non-scientific hymn sheet
and all you've done is
for the last 3
these
years,
women. Shame on you.
Then he wouldn't have the hero.
Shame on you for attacking these women.
You've created that hero.
Shame on you for attacking these women.
Because all these people, all these newspapers that gave one side of the pandemic, he was the lone
it's now
voice.
about COVID again.
Pandemic.
Beverly Turner's other big hobby horse. She can't get through an hour without going on about COVID. This is not about COVID. This is about serious allegations about a public figure who has been accused by 4 women of 2 of rape, 1 of grooming a 16-year-old, and you're banging on about COVID.
He talks about
You're obsessed. You're obsessed.
I'm telling you that the reason he is a hero to millions of people, millions who will be watching this channel, is because of his position on politics in the last 3 years. He used to be a left-winger. He now gets written off as a right-winger. That's why people like Jonathan Ashford don't know what to say. Because when he was the left-wing darling, everybody loved him. Now that he's interviewing people like Tucker Carlson and interviewing Ron DeSantis, the press hate him. They've turned against him because of his position.
About the issues,
These 2 are, of course, anchors, and they're trying to have the conversation. And like I said, you'll be surprised at the people who are going to come behind to protect Russell Brand's brand. This woman is a news anchor, and she tweeted out that he was a hero after he tweeted out, and he being Russell Brand himself, saying that they are attacking him because he is a truth teller, because he is starting to uncover a lot of truths. And she tweeted out to him that he is a hero, this woman. And so this man said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You will not sit here with me and say that this is a hero. He is accused of doing these things, and you're saying that he is a hero. And how is he your hero? And she literally continued to bring up things, and then she did what a lot of conservative folks do all around the world. She mentioned COVID. COVID does not remove the fact that Russell Brand was out here grooming a 16-year-old, is accused of rape, okay, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. COVID doesn't stop that allegation. It does not stop that allegation.
But you got to see though, Rebecca, that the fact that he's talking about COVID in the way that he is. Let's just be clear. He's anti-vax, anti-mask. He is an enemy of the people because folks are still dying from COVID-19. He is popular because he's representing the anti-vax, anti-masking coalition of dummies that the next thing they're going to be is flat earthers. Every person who listens to Russell Brand because of COVID-19, you are as dumb as people who listen to Jimmy Dore because of COVID-19. COVID-19 is real. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. Now, that said, it's absolutely blowing me away, Rebecca, that this is a woman. I don't know. This is not new. There's always going to be women who defend rapists. There are always going to be black people who defend white supremacy. But to hear her put herself and her career and everything on the line for a man who probably wouldn't even look at her, wouldn't even support her if she was dying of COVID, he would laugh at her, right? But she's willing to put herself along with all these other people who are supporting him simply because he's denying COVID exists. That should show you how far gone society is. They will defend a rapist so long as he's anti-vax.
Yeah. And that's what that is. You see, like the media, the news media, especially in Britain, they can get a little nasty, right? And we see this even in America. But just to see the juxtaposition, we wouldn't even expect for the woman, honestly, to be a conservative. But this is what we tend to forget. She's conservative. You can tell her views are conservative. She didn't have much to go off of as to why he is a hero. She didn't give anything. She does what they all do right here in America. She goes to COVID. What that got to do? But like you said, Ben, this man is, but she said that he's done great things for people.
Nice.
And Zed Tabani, who was on the Leftist Mafia, he said, I'd like to think that good people do bad things, bad people do good things. It doesn't make you any less of whatever the hell you are. This man is allegedly a rapist. And we're going through the investigative parts of this. He groomed a 16-year-old. And with the evidence or with the facts, right? With the facts, he did that. My goodness. And for Ben Shapiro.
Yes. Come on.
For Ben Shapiro to go on his show and to say, yeah, I mean, he can be a scumbag for whatever a 16-year-old, but
it was legal.
But it's legal in Britain.
You gotta understand, sex with 16-year-olds is legal in Britain.
Okay. God, you sound just like him.
Oh.
Hate that man. I can't stand that.
I almost went through the camera because I felt so bad for that 16-year-old. I do not care.
Right.
She was 16. Whether it's legal or not, it seemed like he began to groom her. So that's when it was time. And he spoke to her as if she was a child because he knew, in fact, she's a child.
Well, and I wonder what people... Rebecca, there's your favorite word in the chat room. Give him due process. I think people don't understand what due process means. Due process means he's legally in the court system. He is going to get his time in court to prove himself what he has. That due process is in process. Chill. Due process does not mean that we as a society have to continue to allow him in our public spaces. We don't have to continue to allow him in our social media spaces. We have the collective right as a people. We, the people, do not have the power to give due process unless we're serving on a jury somewhere. But all these claims about wait and let's be patient. No, what he wants is time to run his propaganda campaign to muddy the waters of any jury pool so that no matter when he goes on trial, he would have had 2 or 3 years of opportunity to get everybody on his side. No, we fight back against that because we know the games that these conservatives play. And I don't care if they're conservative or Democrat, whatever they are. If you're out here putting yourself in positions where you are going to be credibly alleged rapists, no.
Yeah.
The court will give you due
Absolutely.
process. The people, we're going to protect ourselves and others.
Yeah. And this, you're right, Ben. That is my my little phrase, the due process, because what happens is due process when it comes to people who don't look like Russell Brand.
Exactly.
But all of a sudden, when the due process, they confuse about due process when it comes to people that look like Russell Brand, when it comes to conservatives, when it comes to the people that went over to the Capitol on January 6th, they confuse what due process is. They are very confused, unless it's that man who was with them on January 6th, the black one. Due process is clear. Now, but listen, I want to see how this goes. I believe that Russell Brand, if this is the allegations are true, definitely should be canceled, definitely should be shut down. But with today's America, we have people like Donald Trump who have allegations that are similar to what we're hearing today about Russell Brand, and he became president. The work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.